Welcome everyone to our session on optimizing container images, best practices for reducing image size and build time impact. In today's fast-paced development world, containerization has become ubiquitous, but simply using containers isn't enough. The size and build time of your container images significantly impact your development cycle, deployment speed, and even operational costs. Unoptimized images can lead to slower deployments, consume excessive storage, and introduce unnecessary security risks. By adopting best practices, we can create leaner, faster, and more secure images, ultimately leading to more efficient CI/CD pipelines and a better overall developer experience. Let's dive into why this optimization is not just a nice-to-have, but a critical component of modern software delivery. Before we delve into optimization techniques, it's crucial to understand the fundamental building blocks of a container image: layers. Every instruction in a Docker file, such as from, run, copy, or add, creates a new read-only layer on top of the previous one. These layers are stacked to form the final image. The power of layers lies in caching. If a layer hasn't changed, Docker can reuse it from a previous build, significantly speeding up the process. However, a key point to remember is that if an instruction changes, not only that layer, but all subsequent layers built on top of it will be invalidated and rebuilt. Understanding this layering mechanism is fundamental to effectively reducing both image size and build times. The very first optimization step begins with your from instruction, selecting the right base image. This decision has a monumental impact on your final image size. Standard operating system images, like the full Ubuntu image, can be quite large, typically around 70 megabytes. In contrast, Alpine Linux is a much smaller distribution, weighing in at approximately 5 megabytes. For applications compiled into static binaries, you can even use Scratch, which is essentially an empty image. Choosing a minimal base image dramatically reduces the initial footprint, leading to faster polls, less storage, and crucially, a significantly reduced attack surface by including fewer packages and dependencies. Multi-stage builds are arguably one of the most powerful techniques for optimizing container images. The core idea is to separate your build environment, which often requires many tools and libraries, from your lean runtime environment. Instead of keeping all your compilers, testing frameworks, and development dependencies in the final image, you use an initial builder stage to compile your application. Then, in a second, much smaller stage, you only copy the essential compiled artifacts and runtime dependencies. This strategy ensures your final production image contains only what's absolutely necessary to run your application, significantly reducing its size and potential attack vectors. It's like baking a cake in a fully equipped kitchen, but only serving the cake, not the entire kitchen. Just as a .gitignore file prevents unnecessary files from being committed to your repository, a .dockerignore file prevents irrelevant files from being sent to the Docker daemon during the build process. When you run docker build, Docker first collects all the files in your build context, typically your project directory, and sends them to the daemon. If you have large directories like node modules, .git folders, or temporary logs, these unnecessary files will increase the size of the build context, slowing down the build and potentially adding bloat to intermediate layers. By specifying these exclusions in .dockerignore, you streamline the build process and ensure only relevant files are considered, making your builds faster and your images cleaner. As we discussed, each run instruction in your Docker file creates a new layer. While layers are great for caching, having too many can lead to larger images and inefficient caching, especially if a previous layer frequently changes. A powerful optimization technique is to combine multiple commands into a single run instruction using the double and operator and line continuations, /. This approach ensures that related commands execute within the same layer. For instance, instead of separate commands for updating package lists, installing a package, and cleaning up the cache, combine them into one run instruction. This reduces the total number of layers, leading to a smaller final image and more efficient layer caching. Following up on combining run instructions, it's equally critical to clean up immediately after installing packages or downloading temporary files. Package managers like apt-get or yum often leave behind cache files or download archives that are no longer needed once the installation is complete. Similarly, build tools might generate temporary files that serve no purpose in the final runtime image. By adding cleanup commands, such as rm-rf varlib apt-lists.star for Debian-NA systems, within the same run instruction as the installation, you ensure these temporary artifacts are discarded before a new layer is created. This prevents them from bloating your image and making it unnecessarily large. Beyond just cleaning up package caches, a deeper level of optimization involves scrutinizing your application's dependencies and runtimes. Are you installing the full Java Development Kit, JDK, when only the Java Runtime Environment, JRE, is needed for execution? The size difference between a full JDK and a JRE can be substantial. Similarly, review your language-specific dependencies. Do you truly need every single library, or can some be omitted? For compiled languages, consider building static binaries where possible, allowing you to use Scratch or extremely minimal base images like distrolists of the final stage. These distrolist images contain only your application and its direct runtime dependencies, offering unparalleled minimalism and security. While our primary focus has been on reducing image size and build time, these optimizations have a profound positive impact on the security posture of your applications. A smaller image inherently means a reduced attack surface. Fewer installed packages, libraries, and binaries translate directly to fewer potential vulnerabilities that attackers could exploit. This also means faster and more efficient vulnerability scanning, as there's less software to analyze. Maintaining and patching these lean images becomes significantly easier, reducing the operational overhead of keeping your deployments secure. Image optimization isn't just about performance, it's a critical component of a robust security strategy. We've covered a range of powerful best practices for optimizing your container images, from the foundational choice of a minimal base image like Alpine, through the transformative power of multi-stage builds, to the meticulous cleanup of temporary files and the smart use of Docker Ignore. Each technique contributes to a leaner, faster, and more secure image. These aren't just one-off tasks. They are practices that should be integrated into your daily development workflow and Docker file authoring. Continuously review your Docker files, automate scanning for vulnerabilities and image size, and always strive for the smallest possible image that meets your application's needs. By embracing these optimizations as standard practice, you'll improve your deployment efficiency, reduce costs, and enhance the security of your containerized applications.